Welcome everyone to the NRC Helpful Moment. My name is Richard Weil and I'm the CEO and owner of National Restaurant Consultants. We welcome you in again today with Mr. Brian Devine, President of Top Line Management and Cafe Fuel, and our senior consultant, Sandy Clark. And Sandy, we welcome you in today. We have a couple topics we're going to go over. And the first and foremost, Brian's going to start us off with a little bit on some promotion and marketing information that you need to be thinking about as we begin to ramp up the new norm. We're no longer in recovery. We need to be in a mode of how are we going to get things moving forward. So Brian, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Richard. And yes, we're going to be really brief on my part today, because I want to just make one very clear message for everybody, and that is to communicate everything that you're going to be doing prior to opening, when you're open, and then even after you've opened. And I want you to think, if you're feeling like you're communicating and talking too much, then it's probably not quite enough. So overdo it, because if you remember how Facebook works, when you put something on your Facebook page, about 1 to 3% of the people that have sort of liked your page are going to actually see what you post. So you have to communicate over and over again. And when I say communicate, I want you thinking about what message do you want to get in front of people. And that message is things like, what is the process going to be like when they come in? How does your ordering going to work? If it's online or if it's over the phone, how does that process look like when they come to get it? Do you have delivery? And if you have delivery, is it touchless? So you want to communicate all of that as much as possible over and over again, so it's not a one and done. And if you do video, it can make your life a lot easier, because you can create that video once and share it over and over again. And you can put that on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And what's amazing right now is YouTube is cheaper than ever to get your entire community to see your video. You can do it for around 3 cents a view. And if somebody doesn't even watch only watches maybe 15 or 20 seconds, you don't even pay the 3 cents. So it's an incredible way for you to communicate. All right, I think I covered everything. Richard, any questions about kind of what I covered there?
No, but it's very effective, and thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Now I'd like to again bring in Sandy Clark. Sandy is an expert on supply chain management. She has spent over 40 years in the supply chain side of things in the food service and hospitality industry. She's a graduate of the University of Denver Hotel and Restaurant Management program. But more importantly, she really does understand supply chain management and what that new norm is going to look like. So Sandy, please, if you would, take it away.
Thank you, Richard. Today, I'm going to talk about that hard topic, credit. So there's some talk now about the economy opening back up, and hopefully that means our restaurants as well. So if you've been closed, and perhaps because it was all so sudden, you still have a balance with your distributors. And I'm not just talking food service, I'm talking beverage, linens, alcohol. Think about all of those. Now is the time to reach out and talk about you buying your goods again. So you can start with your sales rep and just ask him who he would like you to talk to in the credit department. He may have a relationship with one of them and want you to work with them. But I need to stress that this is a call that you need to make. Your sales rep cannot fix this for you. The credit people will want to have information straight from you. Now, I'll start you with the assurance that all of these distributors want you back and need you back. They're hurting without your business, and so they are waiting for your call. When you call, though, you need to have a solid plan. How are you going to pay back that past debt that you have there? And what kind of terms do you need going forward so that you can open your place and have a reliable source of supply? A word of warning, don't put on your rose-colored glasses. This is the time to be very realistic about what you think you can do. The way the credit mind works is they hear your commitment, and that is what they want you to be able to stick with. So when you are looking at this, you need to really sit down and look at what your new normal is going to look like. What are your hours going to be? How many seats are you going to have? There is talk that there'll be some social distancing in our restaurants, more than we used to have, so we may not have as many seats. You might have a new menu, not quite as complex perhaps, or not as many items. Take all of that into account before you call and talk to the credit departments. That will help you have a very professional conversation, and that will really help them to be able to work with you and extend you some time to figure out how to pay that back amount that you have with them. So you are not the only one in this situation. There's probably a record number of people who were suddenly one day open and closed the next, and have monies that they need to deal with. So the time to do this is now. If you wait until they say, hey, you can open up, and you expect a delivery that next day, the phone lines are going to be ringing like crazy. So put your plan together, know what you can do, know who you should talk to, and get that all worked out now before it's time to hopefully have the restaurants serving in dining rooms again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. And another piece of little tease right now is we're going to have Sandy back on our Friday edition of the NRC Helpful Moment. And she's going to talk further about supply chain and what that new norm may look like, including what delivery schedules may be, cutoff times, et cetera. So that's just a little tease what we're going to deal with. Again, Sandy's an expert. I would say that is a core competency of National Restaurant Consultants is supply chain management. So if you want more detailed information or assistance on what that communications looks like with your distributors, with your vendors, let us know. We're here to help. We can help you put that in writing and help you get that written. We're not charging for these kinds of services. We're just here to be helpful. So Brian or Sandy, anything else for today?
I think that covers it. I really appreciate all that information, Sandy. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, that's it for now. Bye. Take care.
Bye for now, everyone.